Yeah, you know, I I like the blame game people play. I'm back again. I like the blame game people play. Oh yeah, let's point the finger at the parents. Let's point the finger at the teachers. Let's blame the teachers. Let's blame this. Let's blame that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it when people say, "Oh yeah, let's blame my parents. Blame my parents by the because of the way I act." Meanwhile, it's okay to call me a retard. It's okay for the way the people act, the way they act on Scope, and my parents should be called for the way I act. Yeah, you know what? Every day we steal the same shit over and over again. Well, you know what? You know what? Why don't we call? Let's call your parents. Let's call their parents up. Let's call their parents and talk about the way they act. Oh, your child acts the way you should. Oh yeah, says the people who don't act different. You know, we play this blame game over and over and over again. And why do they blame parents? Because, oh, the parents are responsible. Because the parents are responsible for how they raise their kids. Like, if somebody went on a spree out of anger and they say, oh, they were raised by wonderful parents. What could it have been? Maybe they were jealous of other people. Maybe they felt that other people had better lives than them, and their lives were not as good, even though they were raised by good parents. People have their own reasons. They feel that things are just not right. So if people have kids that go on sprees, on murdering sprees, and they're raised by good parents, do you ever stop and think maybe they're just probably jealous of other people because other people have better lives than them? So whose fault is that? We people have been playing this blame game for so many years. And knowing that my mom's a retired teacher, they blame teachers. Why you gotta blame the teachers for? Why you gotta point to parents because of the way I act? I know for a fact there are people on Scope that are jealous of me because I have a wonderful life and they don't. I would never rub that in. But why the fuck are people using Periscope as a weapon? Hmm? And it's interesting because before I did this video, I was Super BK was playing a video of John Burkle being a phony on saying how he never bullies me on Scope. I don't think I would call Steven a retard. I wouldn't call Steven a retard. I wouldn't say he's retarded. I'd say he's mentally challenged. Why I gotta call Steven's parents for? He's a grown man. I mean, he's a grown man. I mean, look at the way you all act. You know, you want to talk about you want to call his parents shop. Look at the way you act. You don't act like you're perfect. You don't act like you're raised by your parents. There are people that say worse things than Steven. You know, I mean, come on. Why call it the parents shop when they don't act like when they don't act perfect either? And you want to blame his parents? Look at the way you act. Did your parents raise you right? Hmm. See, as you can see, people are just not playing their cards right. I mean, yeah, I know people love to play the blame game, but they're just not playing the cards right. I mean, we all want to enjoy music, but here people blame music and they blame video games. And this is why people make sure they watch what their kids play or listen to or watch, because they want to be good parents. Yeah, but it was okay to have a show called Rescue 911 where you see kids on fire or getting hurt. And how is that different? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, it's not just hip hop and metal fans that have their own problems. I'm sure Barbra Streisand fans have problems. Even Frank Sinatra fans have their own problems. I mean, you don't think. I mean, just think about it. I mean, think about it. So you want to play this blame game. We like to play the blame game. Oh, they'll point the finger at the parents. I mean, but whose fault is it for those that go on Periscope and bully other people's and blame other people for their problems? Is that the parents' fault? Is it their parents' fault? Well, we all know they have problems, and you know that there's something wrong. Who should we blame for Periscope having the problems? Whose fault is that? You know, I remember there was a time where Pawn Star on Scope stood up for me and said, yeah, you want to call Steven's parents and all, but it's okay for going to a Scope of somebody who's ill or whatever and start talking shit about them. Yeah, yeah. It's okay to do that. It's okay to go into a Scope or of somebody that's disabled or mentally ill or crippled or whatever and start talking shit about them. It's okay to do that, but it's real important that we call Stevens, we call his parents, and tell him how he acts. Even though we go into somebody's Scopes and talk shit about somebody that's disabled or mentally ill or whatever. Oh yeah, like, and we're the ones that were raised right. Yeah, they're the ones that were raised right. Their parents don't have to be called. Yeah, how does that make sense? To go into a Scope of somebody that's disabled or that's disabled or whatever, or handicapped or whatever the fuck that shit is, and start talking shit about them, and then have the audacity to say, oh, we should call his parents and talk about how the way he acts. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Meanwhile, I don't do that. I don't go into somebody's Scopes, somebody that's disabled or whatever, and start talking shit about them. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, let's call. Yep. I just don't get it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know people love to play the blame game. But here, just don't get it.